Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a feeling that, let's be honest, has become pretty much universal. It's that constant low grade hum of anxiety in the background, that feeling of being pulled in a million different directions all at once. So, in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why so many of us feel this way. And then we're going to uncover a surprisingly simple but really powerful tool to help us find our footing again. Okay, let's get into it.
So let me just ask you straight up. Does this sound familiar? You know, that feeling of being perpetually stressed out, maybe a little disconnected, constantly tired? Yeah. If you're nodding along right now, I promise you, you are in very, very good company. And here's the first thing you really need to get. This feeling, it's not a personal failure. A ton of research suggests it's not you that's broken. It's that the very structure of our modern world is, well, creating these conditions. It's like this silent epidemic of mental strain, but it has real roots that we can actually point to.
So, what are those roots? Well, psychologists and researchers have really zeroed in on four major environmental factors that are just dialing up our collective anxiety. Let's break them down one by one. Okay, first up, the crisis of connection. We've become, super individualistic. And in that process, we've kind of lost a lot of the communal spaces and shared rituals that used to ground us. Think about it. Community gatherings, regular family dinners, a lot of that has faded. And this erosion, well, it leads directly to loneliness and social isolation, which are just massive drivers of anxiety and depression. Second, we are literally drowning in choice. I mean, from what to watch on Netflix to which of the 50 kinds of toothpaste to buy, our brains are just bombarded with decisions from the second we wake up. And this isn't freedom, it's exhausting. It creates this heavy mental strain called decision fatigue, which basically leaves our brains permanently tired and stressed out. Number three, and this one won't surprise anyone, is the tyranny of technology. All this constant screen time, especially on social media, has been directly linked to higher anxiety and, frankly, just feeling bad about ourselves. It messes with our sleep, and even worse, it's literally rewiring our brains to need constant external validation, chasing that next like, that next notification. And finally, number four, we've lost predictability. When the whole world feels kinda unstable, financially, globally, and we don't have a reliable, predictable structure in our own daily lives, our nervous systems just stay on high alert. Our brain gets stuck in this low-level fight or flight mode, and it never ever gets a real chance to rest and reset. So, if a lack of structure is a huge part of the problem, it kind of stands to reason that intentionally adding some structure back in could be the solution, right? And that right there is where we find the power of ritual, a surprisingly effective antidote to all this modern chaos. Now, this is where things get really interesting because we often think that to feel better, we need some massive, life-altering change, a new productivity app, a total life overhaul. But the research actually points in the complete opposite direction. It suggests we don't need grand gestures. What we really need are small anchors, reliable structure, daily rituals. Okay, so what exactly do we mean by ritual? It's really important to see how it's different from just a habit. A ritual is a sequence of actions, yeah, but it's defined by repetition, a bit of formality, and, this is the key, symbolic meaning. It's an action you do with intention, and that's what gives it all its psychological power. And listen, this isn't just some nice, fluffy idea. It's actually backed by science. Engaging in rituals has a real, measurable, positive effect on our brain. So let's take a look at exactly how they work their magic. So here's the science behind it. First, rituals act like a shield against anxiety by giving us a small patch of control and predictability when the world feels totally chaotic. Incredibly, they actually reduce our brain's error signal, which helps us bounce back way faster from mistakes or failures. They also lower that mental strain we talked about by automating simple decisions, freeing up brain power for other things. And over time, they build real resilience by giving us a structured space to process our emotions. The bottom line is this: rituals actively calm your brain down. All right, so we've covered the why. Now let's get to the how. And I want to be clear, this is not about adding more stuff to your already packed to-do list. It's about being more intentional with the time you already have. So let's get into a super practical guide for building your own personal anchors. There are basically four key principles here. 1. Focus on establishing anchors, not goals. Think of a simple, non-negotiable activity at the start and end of your day. 2. Start ridiculously small and simple. I'm talking 1 minute. 3. Prioritize the fundamentals. Consistent sleep and meal times are rituals in themselves. And 4. Practice psychological flexibility. If you miss a day, who cares? Don't quit. Just come back to it tomorrow. Perfection is not the point here. Consistency is.
And here's the best part. To get you started, here are 5 super simple, minimal fuss morning rituals. And just look at the time commitment. We're talking 1 to 5 minutes each. You could start with the hydration anchor, just drinking a glass of water to signal to your body that the day has begun. Or my personal favorite, delayed digital gratification. Just giving yourself 5 minutes without your phone first thing in the morning, it's a powerful way to reclaim control over your focus before the world rushes in.
And of course, we need a toolkit for the evening too, one that's designed to program your brain for rest. The Tech Tidy, just plugging your phone in across the room away from your bed, that one simple act is an absolute game changer for your sleep. Or the Brain Dump, where you spend just 3 minutes writing down any worries or to-dos. This simple act literally tells your brain it's safe to let go. It closes the loop on the day's stress so you can actually relax. You know, if you only take one single thing away from all of this, let it be this. Your brain thrives on structure. It was not designed for the constant chaos and novelty of the modern world. It actually craves predictability. It thrives on it. And giving it that structure through small rituals is one of the kindest and most effective things you can do for your own mental well-being. So I'll leave you with this question. Forget about overhauling your entire life tomorrow. Just think about one small, simple, meaningful action you can take. What one tiny anchor will you set today to start reclaiming your calm?